And then the result of the test, you run the test, whether it passed or failed, you would set that. For example, if you had like an exception that occurred, you would take that exception message and put it into the output so it's easy for you to recognize if you're going through visually. So for the simple test case, this is the basic flow. You just fill out the properties, you run some kind of test, you say it passed or failed, you set the output, and then you just call the save test method of this test case object. Usually you use these types of tests for the majority of your tests because most tests will not cause like the JavaScript interpreter to fail or some kind of horrible error occurs. So you can use these for the majority of the tests. However, if you do expect like the interpreter is going to fail, or let's say you're testing like how it processes or parses like HTML elements and you're injecting kind of invalid data into the elements. If it just stops the JavaScript interpreter, the blade system will be pulling and not finding results, and I'll just say, okay, this test failed, copy it from the temporary store, and then move on. So again, it's the same type of process. You fill out the properties, you call save pretest with a callback to a function that you're going to be using to run the test. And then you run the test, and then you set whether it passed, failed, and you call save test. So before I get into the attack surface of browsers, I'm going to demonstrate the system, if my VMs are working. Here we have, this is a Fedora Core 12. I've tested in 13 as well. This is basically the management interface. So you have 3 tabs here: testing results, settings, DNS settings. So if we look at testing results, this is basically what you're going to be looking at if you're going to review what tests you ran through. So let's just open one up real quick. So here's basically when the server saw the test case name.